Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trusty's Vintage Live Sale. Sorry, a couple minutes late. Doing some last-minute investigation with my voice from above, Katie, who is joining in the chat. So Katie was helping me investigate one of the Coca-Cola items that I've got. So sorry, I ran a little late, but I'm sure Nate was keeping a company in the chat because once again, we've got Nate helping us out as well. Nate from New Zealand. And so Katie will keep me on task time-wise and helping me explain things. And Nate will keep us on task for who is claiming the individual items. So thanks, everyone, for joining in and being more on time than I was. So I'll say hello. Yeah, Peterson wins the award for being the first person coming in with her general emojis of what we got today. We've got shamrocks and butterflies. And then, we got Rebecca we've got our main stater coming back with her own emojis of, what are those?
Foxes?
Foxes and flowers. Pretty cool.
Flowers, I think so. That's fun.
All right, wait. So Dawn's got one that my system is not recognizing. Can you read what?
Yep, I think there's squirrels and boxing gloves.
Oh, for some reason they're not coming up for me. They're just like weird little error emojis. So, and Rebecca was getting a, oh my, what is that?
Strawberries and dinosaurs, I think.
Oh, it's a dinosaur. I'm like, is it a weird baby turkey? Rebecca gets the baby turkey and strawberries. Dawn changed her screen name. She's the Wiener Dog Mom. So welcome, Dawn, head of Just One More Dachshund Rescue. So welcome. Always happy to have Dawn in the house, coming in from Maryland. And here we go with emoji. So she modified hers a little bit. She's got a hot dog and paw prints. So
I like that. That's the closest to wiener dogs you can get.
Absolutely. So
they have a plain dog in the little emoji selection.
Absolutely, yeah. So even Peterson is getting support that is a good one. So let's see. We've got you got Nate coming in saying hello to Biscuits. Not really sure who that one's being directed at.
I think Biscuits is everyone.
Oh, okay. So we got Brian coming in from Chicagoland, and Bain, got Jay Goodwin coming in. Oh, we got Jeannie coming in, Norma Jean +1. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. And we got somebody I don't recognize. We got Dan coming in. So welcome, Dan. Glad you could join us.
Dan.
Another Terp coming in with Chad from Retro Days from Northern Maryland. Mayberry. Let's see. So I was looking at the names. Now I'm missing all the emojis. So let's see. What do we get? We got Pat got turtles and mushrooms.
Mushrooms. I like that, Peterson. These are fun.
So let's see. Delbert must be here. We've got a hello. Cat's here. Lois is here. Tiger is here. I got something that made me think of you, Tiger. So I've got that tonight. Oh, we got Portuguese Hydrangea is coming back in. So hello, Portuguese Hydrangea. Halem is in the house. I don't know if Halem and Melody are still on vacation, but if you're still on vacation, I appreciate your dedication to coming back to one of my sales. Sharon is in the house, and Jean and Carrie, and all right. So yep, Carrie has been the master of getting mystery boxes. So either you need to suck up to her, so she'll gift it to you, or just make sure you're refreshing your chat, because as long as
I told Carrie she needs to play the lottery.
Absolutely. Was it last week that she won 2 out of the 3? So
2 out of the 3, just total by luck, sheer
absolutely. Luck. Flea Market Treasures is in the house. Thanks for coming back. And to not really, I won't say it's to address, because it is not Carrie's fault. She just, it is completely a lot of luck to a certain extent. For those, there are a couple of names that I don't recognize, so I'll do a really quick summary. All the live sales pretty much work about the same way across the different channels. The biggest difference for mine is I don't do auctions or offer ups. So when I show you an item, I will tell you the price. That is the price you pay. And then I will give you the item. The first person that Nate sees in the chat that enters the number for the item is the person who claims it. For the mystery boxes, because they've been so popular, first I always give a shout out to Fatbird Finds for introducing that concept. But I now regularly do mystery boxes, and they're so popular that I want to try and, I want this to be fun. As we all say, what am I not selling, Katie?
The Mona Lisa.
We are not. There we go. Okay, but Tia Fane's in the wrong place. Tim came to show he's showing up for the Mona Lisa. So we're not selling the Mona Lisa. We're just here to have fun. But, to add to that fun, now what I do for the mystery boxes is you have to guess the number. So it just happened last week. Carrie just, we had a little mental syncing going on, and she was able to guess the number first from everybody else. So what I'm doing this week is I'm still going to do it the same way. However, people also like my multiples. So I'm doing something a little bit different. So right off the bat, I'm telling you tonight, there are 6 mystery boxes.
Nate, don't faint.
I was going to say, well, wait for Nate to recover because he's just probably passed out. So he's got to give himself a shot of whiskey and he'll be better. So what I'm going to do for this, it's going to work the same way. I'm going to give you the mystery box. I'm going to give you the range of the number you have to guess. But now what I will do is the first 2 people who guessed that number will be the ones to claim the mystery box. So even if Carrie and I are on that same mental wavelength, if my thought forces are heading down to Texas and she can grab one of them, there's still another one that someone else will be able to grab. So we don't want to repeat the little nastiness that was it 2 weeks ago where I was being accused of not being fair.
Patrick is as fair can be, folks.
And everyone watched me have a little meltdown right on screen. So we're going to not have that because we are all here to have fun, including me. The only reason I do this, yes, I do make a little bit of extra money, but I don't live off of this. This is for fun, and I want to have fun, and I want you to have fun. So we're going to have fun by starting out with not 1 maxi pad, but 2.
Yay!
So we are going to start out with the first item out of the gate will be the mystery boxes. So if you are new, you will be wondering why I'm wielding maxi pads at you. But there is a backstory on this. I will not bore you with the backstory. Just let it be known that I have lots of these. And so for at least the time being, you will get 1 maxi pad in every mystery box that I send out. And so, Carrie, as she was stockpiling mystery boxes, I'm not even going to go there. She probably has a lot of these. So this time I'm going to have 2 mystery boxes. So 1 maxi pad in each. But it's like I said, it's going to work the same way. I'm going to tell you the range that the number falls in. So you have to guess the number. And Nate will monitor it just like he always does. He does know the numbers, cannot be bribed. But now he's going to be watching for the first 2 people to enter the number. So works the same way as everything else. It's always a $15 mystery box because I want it to be fun. So it's not a lot of money. They are custom packed based on where I'm shipping to. So if you're farther away, they'll always have between $25, $30 worth of stuff in it. But if you're farther away, like California or West Coast, it will be lighter weight items, where if you're more local, you'll still get some good stuff. I think Proud American has gotten one before. A handful of you have gotten them before. So hopefully you like what you've gotten in the mystery boxes, and they are custom packed to make sure your shipping is going to around like $9 to $10 is pretty much where they end up. So $15, it'll have $25 to $30 worth of stuff in it. And this mystery box is numbered between 30 and 40. So the number falls between 30 and 40, and the first 2 people that enter the correct number will be the ones to get the mystery box. So let's see what ends up happening, and if we can keep track and help Nate watch this. So the numbers are flying in.
Lots of them, and I'm looking at 2 chats just to double check. So
Nancy got a little carried away. She was guessing. Let's see, we got a 366. We have a 333. Okay, we need to work on that. 30 to 40. So those fingers are flying. You got to make sure it's a 2-digit number.
Oh, I see it. I just saw it come through the chat, but I only see 1 of them so far.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotta wait for Nate. I'm telling you guys, you've been really good lately. We've been getting them out of the gate, so this is a bit of an anomaly this time, is that we only see 1. Oh, okay, now I see the second one. I have now seen the number twice, folks.
All right, so we're not going to be able. Oh, we've got comments about my shirt. Yes, I got the great little weird flamingo shirt on today.
And I wore the lobsters in honor of Patrick's fun shirts.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, I see it again. So it's come through 3 times this time.
I've seen it now a couple. I saw 2 back to back. So we definitely have enough to pick from. We just have to figure out which Nate sees down in New Zealand and let him fill us in. So I feeling that So saying hello, Christina Taylor's joining us. So welcome, Christina.
Christina Taylor.
And Jennifer Miller, I didn't say hi to. And Diane, I didn't say hi to. Okay, here we go.
Yep, exactly what I see. Tigers,
the mystery box.
And Susan. So congratulations, guys.
So Tiger and Susan Way, because the number was 38. Number 38. So it goes to Tiger's Timeless Treasures and Susan Way. You get your mystery boxes. So congratulations. And so unless I start getting nasty grams from Nate that he never wants to do that again, I will have additional mystery boxes later in the show, and we'll do the same thing. So I've kind of gotten down to the science of shipping them, or filling them. So I figure I did a box last night. If you missed Katie's channel last night, we did a sale on her channel last night. And I did a mystery box then, and then I'm going to be giving 6 away tonight. So I'm like, okay, can I do 7 mystery boxes? And I think I can. So
and Patrick will do it, and they will be
absolutely.
Gotta love those maxi pads.
Everyone loves their maxi pads. So there's got to be merch in there somehow. I get a gigantic illustrated version of the woman on the maxi pad box.
Maybe I won a maxi pad at Trusty Huckster Mercantile.
I don't even know, because admittedly I've never tried to look it up. I don't even know, does that company still exist? Guards?
I don't think so.
It's not one that I recognize.
It's evolved into a new type of company now.
Yeah, I'm not really in the market for them, so I really wouldn't know if they're still in business, but certainly don't see their ads. So I could be like a vintage ad for Guards. All right, sold by Trusty himself. All right, so the next item is my homage to Katie. Actually, I have a couple things, not intentional, just, Katie has so many cool collections. It has so many cool things that I tend to come across things that remind me of Katie. So tonight I've got hashtag bring back the brooch. So this one is, and this is what I was also showing this to Katie ahead of time, to a certain extent, to make sure she didn't want to take it before anyone else had a chance to buy it. She is letting this pass on to the rest of you. But we did determine that this is Cloisonne. So it's enamel, and it is completely what we had to kind of inspect is it is completely wrapped by the brass. I think it's brass, not copper, but not sure about that. I think it's brass. But it is completely surrounded so that the enamel is enclosed within the metal. So that was what we were trying to determine if it was actually Cloisonne. So we believe it is. It is not marked in any way. I do believe there's some age to it. You can see there's a little bit of patina on the back. It does have the safety clasp, but those have been in use for quite some time. But it's still in great condition. The clasp is fine. The pin itself is straight. And I would say I would want it to wear it this way, but if you kind of look at it, where the bar is like below halfway. So I think it has to go like that, which I guess it looks just as good. I don't know. Which way would you want to wear it?
I'd wear it the other way, personally, with that pointing down.
Okay, so that's the way it's designed. I guess I'm just an upside down guy. I thought that I thought more like a fan or something. But,
or a peacock the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Like a little peacock, absolutely. But regardless, I fell in love with this pin. I just think it's beautiful. It's in fantastic condition. All the enamel's in great condition. And it is available this evening for $10. So $10 for the Cloisonne brooch, $10 by giving me number 7. $10, number 7 for the Cloisonne brooch.
That is beautiful. I think that piece is just stunning.
Absolutely. So I only bring in brooches on occasion. Did you sell any brooches last night, or did you just, when you find brooches, you just keep them?
I hoard a lot of the brooches I get. I have to admit that, but I didn't have any for last night. But I will have some soon. I'll have to go back to my favorite lady at Fans and Stoves, and that was quite popular. And I see Calypso Cat picking up that beautiful brooch. Congratulations, Cat.
So where is it that you get them? It's not. I was thinking you got everything from Eco Relic. So what's the one that you just said?
There's an antique store here called Fans and Stoves, and the lady that curates this booth of brooches, it's amazing. It's 3 display cases, full floor to ceiling of brooches, and she travels all over the world. And mainly a lot of her brooches come from England, but they're all just gorgeous. She has a whole selection of beautiful, shiny ones that are Austrian and they're crystal and they're just, it's amazing.
Oh, fantastic. All right. So we had our homage to Katie. Now we have the homage to me. So, if you're going to be in one of my live sales, you're going to come across your coasters. And I'm always on the hunt for Pimpernel coasters because in the world of coasters, it is the best name that's out there. It is in this style of coaster. Let's put it that way. I mean, I would always take a Minton porcelain coaster too. But, in this case, these are the cork-backed laminated style coasters that are fairly popular and prevalent. But these have the original box and they still have the Pimpernel label on them, made in England. These are, I'm going to say they are Christmas. It's just kind of a motley little crew of what is shown in here. So it looks like we've got some paisley, holly berries, some plaid, and then the bells, and I guess the bottom two are the paisleys. So it's kind of a mix of different textures. But because of the holly berries and the bells, I'm assuming that these fall into the Christmas category. Actually, I don't know if they named it on the box. Sometimes they name the series. Oh, it's called Christmas Quilt. So that is why they're done in little pieces like that. So it's considered the Christmas Quilt pattern. This happens to be a set where they're all six are the same. So it's not 6 unique styles. It's 6 of the same in the Pimpernel coaster style. They do come in their original box. So you have a set of 6 in the original box of Pimpernel for $8. So the Christmas quilt pattern, $8. There you go, mid-century. Jamie's saying it's masculine Christmas, which I think you could make that a feminine Christmas too. But I don't think we have to genderify it. $8 for the cool Pimpernel coasters. $8 by giving me number 34. $8.34 for the set of 6 Christmas quilt coasters.
Fabulous, Patrick. You got to have coasters on your channel. And a quick reminder, folks, we do have an eBay item tonight that's going live. And I see Nancy Cow picking up number 34. Congratulations, Nancy.
Thank you very much, Nancy. And yes, we do have eBay auction that's running right now. So I don't do offer ups on my channel, but I do have an eBay channel. So that's where I feel auctions belong. And what is listed right now is, and I apologize, I keep rubbing my nose because I feel like something flew up in. So maybe that was too much detail, but I need to explain why I keep rubbing my nose. I'm not doing Coke, in between, not doing lines of Coke in between my items. So this is a set of vintage baby shower items. And it identifies them based on the little note that came with them saying that this was her corsage from her baby shower in June of 1958. So you have a vintage, the little cake topper with the stork. And then the stork, you can see has a little hook on the end of his nose or the beak that holds the little baby. And then as the note says, it is her corsage. And so the corsage is a ribbon corsage that has little baby paraphernalia attached to it. So you've got the little baby bottle with baby formula. You've got sugar cubes. You've got a baby rattle. You've got a little tiny baby birth certificate. So you just have this cute little vignette, whether you're planning your own baby shower, you're decorating for a baby's room, or you're just looking at making a vignette or any sort of, sweet, even like for something for the spring, with all the newborn chicks and babies. You've got a whole idea. It is all available right now. Last I checked, there were no bids. Its opening bid is $10. So it's available for $10 right now on my channel. Sold Nate just dropped the link, so you can access it and pick that up for $10. And I will just give you a little hint that my auctions end at the top of the next hour. So that will end in 40 minutes. This will pop up in 40 minutes. So I will show that in more detail. I showed it on my Instagram, on a haul video, but that will be going live in 40 minutes. And that is a piece of Royal Hickman, Royal Hager, that will be going live at the top of the next hour. So I will show you that in a second. All right. I love coming across, considering I don't like kids, I come across kids stuff all the time, and I like to pick it up because I think it's fun. I know just from what this audience is doing, everyone's really big into their vignettes, their tiered trays. There's resellers doing package toppers and things like that. So when I saw these, I just thought these were fun. So we're dealing with a set that probably would have been in a classroom, but maybe this would be something that a parent would have had in their home as well. Because you can see there's kind of two levels for this. It is a set of grab cards. This is junior and this is senior. And you can see they build phonetic approach and corrects reversals. So you've got 2 decks in each box. And what they are is they're basically word cards and flashcards that show the graphic and the logo on the back, and then shares the individual cards. So this one said the green deck was deck 4. This was for grades 3 and remedial. So you've got all right, bought, before, carry. So you can start making sentences. You can do them as flashcards. The graphics on the back are just super cute and sweet. And then you also have them in the yellow, so you can keep the decks separate. The yellow was grade 2, so these are a little bit younger, so the words are a little bit easier. Saw, was, so like that was kind of that reversal thing. So I don't know if this was in early stages to try and catch or improve dyslexia. It's just the date on these. Should have written it down because I cannot read these. 1953. So they have some age. Again, this was the senior level, grades 2 and 3. Then the blue was pre-primer. I'm not sure what a pre-primer is. And then deck 2, unfortunately, there's a little bit of damage right to what it would have been called. So I'm not sure. Early reader. Well, it would have been grade 1 because we came to have skipped grade 1. So I'm not sure exactly what that DER stands for.
Maybe before the primer reader books, Maybe.
Yeah, I guess primer, because that would have been, because it says pre-primer, so then first grade would be the primer. Okay, so yeah, that's probably what it is. And so both boxes, they're full with the cards. This one is, the decks are blue and red. All the graphics are the same. So they're just kind of fun to, again, whether you put them backing up, scattering them down at the bottom of a vignette for education, back to school. Some kids are already going back to school, which seems just way crazy, but it's happening clearly. So we've got 2 decks of the grab reading game that children love from 1950s. Both sets of cards for $6. $6 for the sets of cards by giving number 26. $6.26 for both sets.
Those are amazing, Patrick. I love the graphics on that from the 50s.
And it's just one of those things that they like what they did back then versus what stuck around versus what got like, oh, that education thing was wrong. Like we taught people the wrong way. I'm still trying to understand new math. My daughter fell like kind of in the cusp of where some of that new math started coming in. So she never really had to do it, but I watched other people deal with it. Like, okay, there's no way, just at least what I saw, there's no way that's easier than the way I learned it. So what's the point? Like, why do we have to change the entire process of teaching somebody math?
Exactly. If it works, then you got to.
If it works, you just need to know how to do it.
And I see number 26 going to Susan Way. So congratulations, Susan. Excellent. Those are going to be amazing in your collection.
Thank you so much, Susan. There we go. Dyslexics of the world. So Halem is uniting everyone together. So, and that was what was funny is until I saw those 2 cards, I didn't know what reversals meant. So I bet that's what that is. That must have been what they considered dyslexia back then. And they just called it reversals. So they probably
didn't have the correct terms and the knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, and it sounds to a child, it sounds probably a little bit less daunting to say, let's work on your reversals as opposed to like a super complicated word that makes it sound like you have something wrong. It's just like, this is just something we need to teach how to teach differently. So it's cool that they did have that. So I'm glad Susan was able to pick those up. One of the things that I've offered only on a handful of occasions because I don't come across them very often. But if you follow Amelia, what's her page name? The one from Finland, Millie Arts.
Oh, yes. Millie Arts.
Millie Arts. She has her Instagram. She shows up in chats sometimes. She's in Finland.
Millie art, this and that, and it's an underscore.
So she is just recently posted about lacquer boxes that she's been collecting since the 70s. And I shared that I also have it. I personally only have one, but I love picking them up for resale because I love the history of them. I love the design of them. And particularly when you can get into the Soviet era ones, they're very well detailed and they're very highly artistic. So this one I had to do a little bit of digging on. It is a hinged box, which made me think that maybe this one's a little bit newer. But unlike the newest ones that are done completely for the tourist market, you can, like, I'm showing you the signature right here, and it's almost entirely impossible to read, which means this is older. With the newer ones, the writing is significantly larger because they want people to be able to read it and know that it's in the Cyrillic alphabet and, whatever. So I had to pull out heavy duty magnifying glass to be able to figure out what that said and what it says, because I don't remember most of my Russian, but I can still read the Cyrillic alphabet. And it says Yakunin. So doing a little bit of Googling, Yakunin is Alexander Yakunin. So he was born 1944. And so he might still, I think the last entry from this art site, he shows he was still alive, but I don't know how up to date it is. So, but he's not that old. 1944 is when he's born. So it's possible this goes into the Soviet era, but if you look really closely, it's got a rocket in there. So it's going to be late in the Soviet era. He's born in 44. So this is based on the shape of that rocket. I'm thinking maybe 70s, could be getting into the 80s, or it might even be later than that, just done as a period piece. But I originally picked it up, to be perfectly honest. I looked at it at a glance, saw it was a lacquer box. It was in absolutely fantastic condition, and it was at a good price. I'm like, yep, I'm picking it up. I thought it was The Little Prince. So when you look at it like this, if you know the book, The Little Prince, I thought it was Little Prince. Well, as you look a little closer, he's not on a planet. He appears to be in a boat. And I don't remember what's in the Little Prince from the book, but it's not a phoenix, and that's not a shooting star. It's a rocket. So I was a little off, but it is still an absolutely fantastic piece. I'm thrilled to be able, well, let's be honest, I'm thrilled I was able to figure out the guy's name, because I'm like, hey, I remember enough Cyrillic to figure out what his name is. It is a beautiful piece. It's in fantastic condition. It's a great little art piece. It is hinged, so it makes it even that much more functional. And it's got the red lacquer on the inside as well. All of the lacquer is in absolutely fantastic condition, and there's no cracks or anything to it. It's probably something that deserves or belongs on Etsy, but I got it for a good price. So when I do that, I like to have, again, we're here to have fun. So I want to offer things at a good price here as well. So we've got a possibly Soviet era, but definitely an Alexander Yakunin lacquer box, and it is available for $25. $25 for the Yakunin lacquer by giving me number 59. $25 for the lacquer box.
I love that lacquer box, and I wonder if maybe he used that book as inspiration to kind of.
I almost think it's just every way it's formatted, like it just, again, at a glance, I'm like, oh, it's a Little Prince. That's cute. Because one of the, if you're not familiar, or you don't, look at lacquer boxes, they do like to have, they use a lot of literature, and usually it's like old folk stories from Russia, but they'll recreate those on the boxes. So like, okay, cool. I knew that this might be a little bit newer because it was hinged. So I'm like, oh, cool. They're still using a book. And then I'm like, oh, well, I guess that's not technically Little Prince, but that's okay.
And I see Nancy Cal getting number 59. Congratulations, Nancy. That's a gorgeous piece.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I hope you enjoy that. So the next item is a piece of ephemera. It is a little, admittedly, it's an interesting snapshot in time, and I love finding these. We talked a little bit on Katie's channel last night that in some cases, I really do feel, yes, let's be honest, obviously I also make some money, and it's nice to have some money, but this is a side hustle for me. So I do this to have fun. And one of the things that I really, really do believe in is the whole idea of stewarding old pieces, vintage items, antique items, and making sure that they get preserved, they get saved, they end up in the right hands so they don't get destroyed. And this is another item that falls into that category. When you woke up this morning, you had no idea you needed a graduation program for the Officer Candidate School of Class 95 from Fort Benning, Georgia. But I'm here to tell you, you do need it, because what this is, it is not class of 1995, it is class 95, which was inducted in the middle of World War II. Their class was inducted during November 5th, 1942. So every person in this photograph went to war. So, and most of them probably didn't come back. So you've got a fantastic snapshot in time. It's in excellent condition. It's got the paperboard outside. Hopefully you can kind of see it. It's got the gold accent of the American seal and a little bit of gold around the seal. I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming that must be the emblem of Fort Benning. I don't know what it is. It kind of looks like a nail, but admittedly I'm not familiar with the military bases. So you've got the listing of all the names. So this is also something that from a collectability standpoint, or for a long tail item, this becomes a genealogy item, because now if you're doing research on any of these family names, you suddenly have a piece of history that shows when they graduated in the Army. You got the photograph in the middle. One of the things I thought was interesting, and this happens, in yearbooks, at some point, yes, these were 1940s military guys, but they still had a sense of humor. So they were still putting quotes around the quick time off the stands and double time to your posts. Okay, maybe that's not a funny one. You're on your own time. They put I guess probably quotes that were repeated a lot or that they thought were funny, whatever. Gun will be mounted here. That's just a knee slapper. But they just have all of these. There's the one, wait, no gig sheet today. I don't even know what a gig sheet is. And then they have their class song, I guess, or at least it rhymes. So I don't know if they would have sung that or that's just their class motto. And we're coming back in 43.
I think the cover is a sword.
Oh, okay. That could be. But because of this as being a snapshot in time, check out the last part of the stanza. So instead of Mussolini, it's Mussolini. I actually do not know what Schickelgrube is. Do you have any idea what that refers to, Katie?
I have no clue at all.
So, okay, Mussolini I can get, but I have no idea who Schickelgrube is. So,
I'm not familiar with that.
It is simply a graduation program. It's a very cool piece. It's a very important piece of history, and I hope somebody either has a military collection, tends to decorate for 4th of July, for Veterans Day, does some of those tier trays. How fantastic would this be? And a conversation piece to boot, and it's only $5. So $5 for the 1942 Army graduation program from Fort Benning, Georgia. $5 by giving me number 69. $5.69 for the graduation program.
What a cool program. And I did look up Fort Benning, and this is their logo. So I do think that it is a sword. Oh,
yeah, definitely.
I just think that is so cool.
So what does it say above this sword? Because now that you say that, there is something above this one.
It says, follow me.
Okay. This one, I think because of the age, it's you can see there's text there. And I guess now that I know what it says, I could probably guess that it said follow me, but I wouldn't have come up with that. And then the hilt of that sword, it's very, very dim, but it's there. So yeah, definitely. This is a sword. That's actually pretty cool.
And I see Jamie, mid-century wasted, picking up number 69. Congrats, Jamie.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for picking that up and giving that an all-important.
Oh, and Schickelgrube is Hitler's father's family name.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yep.
Interesting.
That's what Nate just typed into the chat. So Nate's helping us out there.
Oh, okay. That's actually very interesting. And I mean, I guess when you lived through the war, that kind of stuff probably was far more readily discussed. But how did we get to this point? We all know Hitler. I had no idea that was the family name. So
no, I didn't either. Great piece of information.
Absolutely. All right. So Well, I was going to say it's not completely different, but technically Hawaii was part of World War II as well, because that's how we ended up getting into World War II. However, not with treasure craft. So we have a treasure craft Hawaii. I don't know if this technically falls under the category. Katie, you've done a little bit of research on these as well. If this technically, I don't think it's considered an ashtray because there's really nothing that holds your cigarette. There are the grooves, but I don't know, is this considered an ashtray or is it just like a trinket dish?
I think in George's book, he just marked it as a trinket tray.
So this one is the Hawaii one. So it's got the green glaze, and then you've got the avocado glaze, and then the unglazed piece in the middle, which would also, I think, would mean why it would not be used for an ashtray, because I think that would be very hard to clean if that got ashes on it, because it's the same brown pottery as the rest of the piece, marked Treasure Craft of Hawaii. So you've got Maui, Kahulua. Well, Kahlua is an alcohol, but I don't know if that's not spelled the same way. So anyway, George the Antique Nomad does have a book on the history of all of Treasure Craft. And so there are different eras when it was manufactured actually in Hawaii. So this is one of the pieces manufactured in Treasure Craft of Hawaii. And it's got the Hawaii. Okay, every time I hold it, it's upside down. What the heck? So this is the Hawaii trinket dish in the green. And it is available. It's in absolutely perfect condition. No chips, no cracks. Not very heavy to ship. And it is $10. So $10 for the Hawaii trinket dish. $10 by giving me number 41, the year Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. That was entirely unintentional, but $10 for the Hawaii dish.
And we've got a question coming in for you, Patrick. Book is wondering if she bids on the vintage cake topper, if she could have that and a signed maxi pad.
We can work something out, sure.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. And I do love that green glaze on the Treasure Craft. I think that is one of their most beautiful glazes that they produced.
There is a really red one. I mean, I have to say, red is pretty impressive. So I don't know if I haven't seen Lilac's Vintage. Who is the Lilac's Vintage Treasures? Is that the one that you have?
Lilac's Vintage Life.
Vintage Life. She did her tiki room and all of her stuff. That red in that glaze is just so cool for all of that decor.
It's kind of volcanic looking, in my opinion.
Yep, absolutely.
And I see Gina Marie picking up number 41. Congratulations, Gina. And again, speaking of that cake topper, don't forget about that auction on eBay. Nate's been dropping the link in the chat. So go check that out, folks. It's really cool.
There you go. All right. So thank you for picking that up, Gina Marie. All right. Next item is a Christmas item. I had a Christmas in July sale a while ago, but I had way more Christmas stuff than I could ever have included. So I'm just kind of peppering it out as I go. This is one of those pieces that, unfortunately, there's not anything to go by exactly how old it is. I will say that I had these and started purchasing these for our family Christmas tree after we got married. I had these in the 90s. These are those reverse painted glass. You could pick them up in a variety of places, Pier 1, airports, they were available all over the place, and they may still be available today. I do not know how old this specific piece is. It has a really nice accent at the top with the little gold pop and the gold in the bottom, which is a little bit nicer than some of the ones that I've seen. And it still comes in its original box, which is similar to the ones that, again, I had in the 90s. I don't know if this is something that's still available. All I can say is I picked it up with a lot of vintage Christmas. So I do think there is some age to this, but I don't think we're necessarily getting super, super old. But more importantly, it's in perfect condition. There's no cracks. There's no issues with the metal. The cord is still tight and in place, so it's easy. You can actually easily hang it without an issue. And it's just a great scene of Santa or Father Christmas with his walking stick and his toys walking through the woods. So it's just a cute little piece. I picked it up as part of a lot, so it wasn't particularly expensive on its own, and I don't know its age, so I'm just selling it for $5. It's lightweight, would not cost much. It'll definitely ship first class mail. So $5 for the reverse painted glass Santa globe $5 by giving me number 51. $5.51 for the Santa glass ornament.
I remember those on our Christmas tree as well. My mom had several of them, and we love those old-fashioned Santas. They're just great looking. And
Yeah.
Nate had a grocery delivery, so I am taking over for Nate. So I'm waiting to see if anyone has claimed that item. Just a great piece.
No worries. All right. So it looks like nobody claimed that one, so that is fine. Next item is we actually did take some. Someone did take it.
Yep. Lemmy Lemon just came through. Congrats, Lemmy. That is a wonderful piece. It's going to look great on your Christmas tree.
Thank you so much, Lemmy, for picking that up. I hope you enjoy it. The next item, so we mentioned that, and now I can't remember her name. Was it Christina? Who was the Lilacs Vintage Life?
Yes, Christina Galanowski.
So Christina did a show and tell on Katie's channel. I do deep dives on my channels. They're very related. And Katie and I always, we share people and we send people to each other. I ended up doing a show and tell because I was on Katie's channel for cake toppers, and it was not a collection that I had built myself. It was a collection I had picked up for resale, and there were some really fun pieces within the set, including the baby set that's being sold right now. I should have done a trigger warning. Clown head alert.
Oh boy.
We have the clown cupcake toppers still in its original packaging. So we've got a new old stock clown heads. Can we be more disturbing? So the plastic is showing its age because these are probably, it has a zip code, so we're at least 70s. I'd say probably 80s for these. They're all in perfect condition, just the plastic has gotten a little bit cloudy, so they look even more bothered, like they're being suffocated in the bag. So we've got the clown alert for Christina. They are what they are. Some people love the clowns, but these, again, they kind of transcend. They are clowns, but they're also, as we discussed when we did the show and tell, that this ends up being an area of collectability by itself. So some people collect them as cake toppers, or in this particular case, if you have a clown collection, I hate to say it, but if you open the packaging and pour these into a jar, you could either have a really creative conversation piece, or you could disturb every person that comes to visit your home. So either way, you've got a winning result of the bag o' clown heads, they were food safe, and they still would be food safe. So you could actually use them should you choose to do so. But they are new old stock, so that does increase the cost, the price or the value of them a little bit. I did have right out of the gate, right after the show and tell, I sold a vintage cake topper that was in the shape of the Apollo Gemini capsule. And it ended up selling for more than double the ones that had sold recently because it was new old stock, as opposed to the others were just used. Somebody had it and they just found it in somebody's garage sale or whatever. When you got the new old stock, you do have something special. So you hate to have to open it up, but if you really want to disturb your friends, okay, that's even disturbing me. All right, I'm going to stop doing that. So we have a dozen clown heads in the bag. So there's 12 of them in here. So you get the 12 clown heads in the new old stock packaging for $15. So $15 for the clown heads, $15 by giving me number 82. $15.82 for the bag o' clowns.
I have to say, I think for Halloween, that would be just a really cool display. If you wanted to have a Halloween themed party and put them in cupcakes or put them in jars around your home. I don't like clowns, but I think for Halloween, you could do something fun with it.
I can only imagine what Tina from A Vision and Vintage could do with something.
I know.
What else could you put in there? Like blood? Like, I don't even know. Like, you could just.
I mean, and if you had someone that didn't like clowns, you could turn this into a joke and mail them a new one every week in the mail.
Like you're sending them severed body parts. I'm gonna, be warned. We're out to get you.
And I see Lemmy Lemon for the clown. So congratulations, Lemmy. I hope you do something fun with those.
Absolutely. And definitely let us know if you do. I mean, if you keep them in its bag and it's part of your collection, that's great. But if you end up doing something creative with them, absolutely share with us. And we will definitely make sure we send that around. So
tag us on Instagram.
The next item I've got is, for whatever reason, I have always been, I don't necessarily have a collection of them. I don't necessarily add to my personal collection, but when I find things for resale, I do have an affinity for quails. And I think part of it's because their body shape reminds me of my body shape. But what I've got in this particular case, I take that back. I do have a collection of Red Wing Bob White quail china. I am building that collection. So I do have quails in my personal collection, but I've had figurines of quails. I've had pictures of quails, and now I have a tile with quails on it. Now, as much as I like quails, if you held a gun to my head and asked me, where do quails live? I would not know, but I would not say the desert, and that's a cactus. So Katie, where do quails live?
I have no idea. I mean, I would say like the woods, the forest.
I thought the birds. I don't know. So I don't know what the connection is to these particular quails, but
they live on Earth, Patrick. That's where they live.
What is it?
Just say they live on Earth.
There you go. They fly in the air and walk on the ground. So I don't know what this one is. Like that kind of looks, actually, no, I take that back. I do know what that is. That's a yucca plant. I had those growing up, as disturbing as that is. I had those growing up. They're very pointy and spiky, and they hurt you if you walk through them. But when they bloom with this ginormous stalk with the white flowers on the top. So that is a yucca plant. I'm not sure what that is. I don't think poinsettia grow in the desert. And then that's cactus. And then I don't know, that's like some sort of mountain. So we aren't in Illinois. So it's a quail. It's from Masterworks Art Tiles, which evidently is in Tucson. And they do this style of tile. So it's a terracotta. It's a very thick terracotta tile. It's been mounted onto a cork board with the feet on it. Still has the original label. So that's how I was able to research it. But it is functional. It's not just decorative. It even says what it's rated to, or no, well, it says how hot it gets to use it, but these are functional. And I don't know if you can see it. I don't know how to hold it in a way. It's the design is embossed into the tile. It's not just painted onto it. So like you can feel all of the grooves of the leaves. You can feel the grooves lining out all of the shapes of the birds. So it's, I'm not sure what that's considered when you're dealing with tile. I think there's a term for that. Do you know what that's called, Katie?
I don't. It's just like a wonderful outline to add dimension and texture.
Yeah, so it's not really coming across nicely in the picture. Hopefully you can kind of understand what I'm saying, that all of those lines are not just painted on. They're pressed into the tile. So we have the Masterworks art tile, handcrafted art tile, manufactured in the USA. The research I did, it sounds like they're from Arizona. You get the quails for $5, $2.50 a quail. So $5 for the tile, quail tiles, $5 by giving me number 74, $5. Wait, prairie, what's a prairie chicken?
I don't know what a prairie chicken is. I must know, Christina.
So Susan Ayers is saying that the red is a cactus flower, which, I mean, it totally makes sense. I don't know. Does that mean they grow on the ground? Because that's what's throwing me. It's like it doesn't seem to be growing on anything. It's just laying there.
I guess they just come out of the ground.
So
well, anyway. Every time I see a quail, it reminds me of theater school because I had to create an alliteration using the letter Q. And so I made an alliteration that was quails quack quickly while quietly questioned. I will forever remember that.
Okay, so now Susan is correcting me. She's saying that these are not quails, that they are partridges.
Oh, partridge? Well, maybe.
I thought the little antennae thing, I thought that made them quails, but am I incorrect? Is that a partridge? Should there be there are no pear trees in the desert. So it's like, so Kitschy Corner, Kara's saying they're partridges too. So okay, well
interesting.
I don't think they're interchangeable, but
prairie chickens are like grouse. Okay,
I've heard of grouse.
And I see number 74 going to Chad at Shop Retro Days. Congratulations, Chad. You Excellent. Get the quail or whatever you choose.
Or pardon, you can call it whatever you want. Yeah. So you have your what what goes well with terrapin? I don't know. I think quail would go better with terrapin in the terp state. But anyway, we've got the next one. I've got another. I've got like multiple tributes to Katie here. But this is one that Katie did actually help me figure out. And I'm including it in tonight's sale. It is albums. It is records. It is what I don't even know what to call them. When they're little, what do you call them? Are they records?
I would just say that they're records, or because of their size, you could say that they're like a 10-inch size or a 7-inch single, whatever.
Oh my God, now I've got to measure them. Okay. Anyway, so we're in a 7-inch single, or not single in each case, but it is a set of records, kids records. So it's a kind of a mixed bag, but I picked a winter theme because it's still been pretty hot around here. So this one is the Rudolph Read and Hear, a Little Golden Book. It is the product of Golden Record Division in New York. This one has the record in the sleeve, but it includes the book. So you've got all the graphics, all the art, everything for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a story. The book is in decent condition. I do not have a record player, so I cannot tell you if the record is playable. I'm typically selling them for the displayability of the art. The sleeve is done in such a way that when you hold it, it will fall out because there's nothing to keep it in place. There's just a little folder that slips into the sides. And Ken, he's going to shoot me because I keep touching it. So put it back on the cover. So, and then there is a small tear on the back of the cover. But again, for vignettes, for displays, for vintage Christmas, you have some amazing art. The art itself is in still good enough condition that these could be taken out and framed or kept in place. I have a very small vintage Christmas collection that I've been building, and I've got things like this and some old Christmas books that's just sit in the back because they're a little bit taller and you get the graphics. So you've got that one. So that one's, the one that everyone would know. Okay, so Susan Ayers is calling them 45s. Here's why. That's what I always called them, and here's why I don't. Not that you are incorrect, Susan. You can call them anything you want, but Katie will mock you privately. No, I'm not. I'm kidding. Katie mocks nobody, but Katie is very good about educating us. And I discovered what I never knew is there are what I would have considered 45s with a big chunk out of it. What I would have considered 45s, you can see the hole in the middle is a different size, is like a standard size, and it says right on there it's 33 1/3. So even though it's the size of a 45, I guess there was a time frame where they kind of did both. So they moved to the smaller side because what you said, this one actually has 2 songs on each side. But what did you say these were? I guess because it's 33.
Yeah,
notes.
And I would consider that like an extended play record, an EP, okay, because it plays more than one song. Typically a 45 would play one song per side. 45 just means the speed at which it spins. So technically those records would be considered 7-inch singles because they're 7 inches in size. But that one would be also like an EP because it has an extended play, more songs, if that makes sense.
Clearly the first song on both sides, not going to be playable. You might be able to play the middle one. But again, I'm including this into this lot as a winter piece because it is a cute blue and black art of bear's magic with a little bear ice skating in the woods. So you've got a little winter theme, and that's from Scholastic Records. And it had a date on this one was 1978. And then the last one, when I saw it, it was this flashback, semi-PTSD of my childhood, which, most memories of my childhood fall into PTSD categories. But it is the little Flexi record. So what this one is, I'm trying to do it in a way that I don't touch the grooves. She didn't yell at me.
Fingerprints on the
I get a severed clown head in my mail. So this is from Weston Woods. So we'll start with the basics. So this is from Weston Woods. I don't know if this one had a date, but it's got a zip code. So again, this is probably from the 70s, maybe the 80s. I don't know. When were these popular, Katie?
These Flexi discs came out in the 70s. They were mainly in magazines, and they were giveaway type things.
And that's
sometimes
what this
I think you could write in for them, but usually they were given away.
Yeah, so this one says right on it, it says gift record. And so it looks like once upon a time, somehow this was sealed or something, because you can see there's a slight discoloration on the very, very edge of this back cover. So I want to say that there was maybe a piece of tape or something that held those two together, because it has that same discoloration on both sides. So I'm not sure. It's long gone. So what you now have is the cover. So you've got a letter to Amy and the snowy day. So again, I try to keep in the winter theme. So you've got kind of some cool graphics on that. And then, so this would be the inside cover. So when you opened it, you would see then information on the two. You then do have a very handy dandy sleeve to hold, so you don't have Katie yelling at you for touching the records. And then it looks like that was it says it's a business reply mail. Now, I don't know what you're doing business. Wait, what's on the back side? Maybe there's something on the other side. Oh yeah, there is. You could ask to be on their mailing list. You could mail to them to be on their mailing list. So there's this little card that's still attached. And then that's holding the actual vinyl disc. Now, I have another one of these that I will have in a future sale. This was the only one I had that fit the winter theme. And it's horrible being watched, because now I can't touch it the way I would touch it, because I'm not a record person. So hopefully you can see there is a little, I guess you would call it a perforation, although it's not really clear that it's perforated, but you can see there's a little separation between where the roundness of the disc stops and the edge of the square. I have another one where that edge has come off. So was it designed to be torn out of the square so you just play the record, or could you play it on the square?
You can play it on the square, but what usually people would do was cut it out. And then they always advertise, because it's so lightweight, they'd say put a penny on it. And then if you put a penny, it would stabilize the record and make it sound a little better. I mean, these were not made to sound fabulous like, a 33 would, but they're just really cool novelty things. And it's always a little snapshot in history to see what's on some of these flexi discs.
Okay, I missed what the chat did, but you guys totally threw me, because you started talking about the Big Mac song, which, okay, all together now. 2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a seasoned bun. I have a Burger King album, or a Burger King LP, a Burger King 45, but I think it's a 33. So I'm like, you're suddenly doing the Big Mac. I'm like, wait, I don't think I have that in this sale. So you guys, again, you're reading my mind. I have actually a Burger King. It's a Red Skelton Burger King record that was done. It was like a giveaway from Burger King. So anyway, I don't know where we got into the Big Mac song. So we had a little rabbit hole there, but there we go. For anyone who did not know the Big Mac song, I'm sure Nate's wondering what the hell's a Big Mac.
Nate, you need to Google it.
Yes, that is the song. So anyway, so you get, and then the backside. So that was how it holds it. And then you get information on Jack Keats, who is the author of the books. So you get the Jack Keats books on the vinyl. You get the Bear's Magic, which it does have the damage in the record, but still some cool graphics. And then you have the Rudolph with the record and the book all included. So all three of these, the entire lot, it's only $8. So $8 for all three of the winter/Christmas themed records. $8 by giving me number 33. $8.33.
Those are awesome. I love the graphics on all those kids' records and cool different vinyl covers they have, because they make a great display. And you can even hang them, I would hate to do this, but on the wall by the center hole, and create a fun little design going up the wall. I just think they're great.
Absolutely. But you and I appear to be the only ones that think that, because no one picked them up, but that is okay.
And don't forget to check the eBay auction. I think we got 10 seconds left on that beautiful cake topper. All
right. Since we're going an hour in, it is now time for 2 more maxi pads. So we're going to do two more. We're going to do 2 more mystery boxes. So you get, again, 2 mystery boxes available. It'll work the same way as the first one did. You guess the number, but now this time the first 2 people that guess the number will be the winners of their mystery box. And this time the number is still going to be $15. It'll still be custom packed based on the distance that I'm shipping it. $15, and you need to guess a number between 60 and 70. between 60 and 70 is the number for the mystery box.
And Sue Raspberry would like those records, so she thinks that they are awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sue.
All right, let's see if we can see the number here. All right, let's see if I see it. I gotta refresh here, guys.
Okay, one has it. Yeah, mine jumps, and I'm working backwards. Okay, I do see I see at least 4 or 5 people that have it, but I'm working from the back, so I need to get to the top.
Okay, I see multiple people with it now.
Somebody got it pretty early on.
Yep, I see it early too. Okay. Wow, lots of you guys are getting this number. We're waiting for Mr. Nate in New Zealand to confirm. Got to make it all the way to New Zealand with your internet. And yes, the 2 mystery boxes go to Christina Taylor and Emlyn Newton. Congratulations,
the number
guys.
was 68. So congratulations to Christina Taylor and Emlyn Newton. Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that this is working. It's fun to be able to do extra boxes because I know they're really popular, but I did not want Nate to have a stroke while we were doing it. So thank you so much for doing that. And yes, Christina, you finally won.
Yes, you finally did.
And I thank you that you did finally win. And until you won, you didn't accuse me of, rigging it. So, but I'm not bitter.
This is the fairest way to do it. And I think it's just a fun element. So thanks for playing along, guys.
All right. I've got for something completely different. In the world of chalkware, there are a couple of names that are particularly well known and well respected and more collectible than others. Chalkware can get really kitschy. And while I appreciate the kitsch, I actually like some of the stuff that goes into the artistic ones, and that's the Bossons, Bosson. So Bosson's chalkware is a higher end, higher quality, and they tend to do more specific items. Like I've had a couple that were dog. I think I had one in the fundraiser last year for the Doxies. They're just very well detailed. So this one falls into a very specialty collecting category that not everyone's going to want it. And, if you're disturbed by clowns, again, trigger warning, we've got Fagin. So whether if you don't like clowns or you do like clowns, maybe you'll also like Fagin. So they did an entire series of the characters from Oliver Twist as well as other Dickens novels. And this happens to be the Fagin piece. It is smaller than my head. It is size-wise, he is like the back of him is 4 inches, but then he kind of like curves around a little bit. So I guess if you just look at him totally top to bottom, 4.5 inches tall. So he's not particularly large. He is chalkware. He still has the little hook built into him, which is nice because a lot of chalkware that has snapped out and there's no way to replace it. So you've got the little wire hook. This is from the company that sold it initially, not the person that made it, because this is a Bosson's item. Now, it's not marked Bosson's in any way, which did surprise me a little bit because usually their stuff is very well marked, but they were the only ones, and really who else would, that made Fagin. So this is not a reproduction or of any other company copying it. This is something that they did. And I guess because it was original enough, they didn't feel they needed to put their name on it, or maybe they didn't want to take ownership of it. But regardless, you can have this little dude watching you as you walk down the hallway, watching you while you use the washroom. There's just all kinds of disturbing ways to use him. But from an artistic, it's exceptionally well done. If you know the kitschy, the kitschy is chalkware. It's got strawberries. You can barely tell they're strawberries. This one, you got the wrinkles in his forehead, the individual hairs structured. It's maybe not necessarily at everyone's taste, but it's exceptionally well done. So it probably will end up heading to Etsy, but I got it at a good price, so I'm passing it off at a good price here. Once it goes to Etsy, it'll be more. But I think he is kind of fun. And again, this is something that you could just send this to friends, and every time they open it up, it'll be like a horse head in their bed. So you've got the Fagin Bosson's chalkware piece for $10. $10 for the Fagin. $10 by giving me number 32. $10.32 for the Fagin chalkware. Are you a
And
chalkware collector, Katie?
I don't collect chalkware, but I do have a chalkware pug. That's the only chalkware that I have. But I thought he was so cute. And there's a display at one of our local antique malls full of chalkware doggies, and I think they're great. That little piece, though, for Halloween, I think would be really cool in some sort of a display because he's got the macabre element to him. That's just fun.
Absolutely.
And
I will
Patrick, you have another eBay item that's going to be live next.
Yes, I was just going to grab that when I was putting him back there. So this is the item that just went live 6 minutes ago. So at this point, I'm putting one item out each week. I may start putting more, but right now, this was something I showed 2 days ago. No, I guess just yesterday. I did a haul video of a antique shop that I went to in Wisconsin, and I found this. It is a piece of Royal Hager, and it is stamped I had it the right way. It's stamped Royal Hager by Royal Hickman, made in USA. And this is something that even one of the comments at the time that I posted it actually came from Chad, Retro Days, here in the chat. I think if he's still in the chat, is, as he correctly pointed out, the ones that are marked with the actual Royal Hickman name are not as common. These do sell. There have been some that have sold on eBay, and some of them do not have any markings at all. They don't even have the Hager name on them because they would have been marked with a sticker, and so those would have been a little bit later. This one is the mauve agate, which I think it's Laura from Fatbird Finds is a big fan of the mauve agate, which to me makes me think of the 80s, but is actually significantly older than that. And when you put it on something like this, you understand, like, this is not something that they did in the 90s. This, I don't exactly know the era, but I'm thinking, what are you thinking, Katie? Like, I would say 30s, 40s.
I was going to say more 30s with that coloring and the shape.
It's almost like the 30s, like all the flowing. It's still got some of the Nouveau aspect of it. The deco's not quite gone, but it's very majestic. It's almost like an eagle's wings, you know. So it's almost, you know, so it's what I discovered doing the research on it, because if you hold it like this, you don't even realize it's a bird. It's because it's like that. And what that is a very specific type. It's a pigeon. It is and I don't know how to say it. It's either a pouter or a pooter pigeon, Pouter. And evidently the pooter pigeon is the one that has the really big breast, the really big chest on it. So this is just a really stylized version of it, and it is just so cool. Who just said Mae West? There you go, Chad. Mae West as a bird. I love it. So it's like, it's so stylized. It's kind of almost, other than the fact these are clearly wings, it's almost easy to miss that it's a bird. You know, it's just a cool piece of sculpture. It is technically a vase, so you can definitely use it as a vase, and it is in perfect condition. So it's a wonderful piece. It's got a very nice modeled effect of the way the mauve agate was applied. I've seen some, as I was doing their history on them, because I knew nothing about them. I've seen some of them that I guess the mauve agate, something with the way it was applied, that sometimes the blue can all coagulate together and then the pink is separate, and it has a very different look, which maybe people like. This one I think is nice because it's almost completely nicely modeled through. I think this is the way it was designed to be done. I mean, just look at the way that glaze hits his chest. It's just fantastic. So it is a pouter pigeon. Somebody said they raised pigeons. Susan Ayers. You know what? Now you say that, my grandfather, his brother, had a bird farm, but I don't think they ever had. They did show birds, but I don't think they ever did pigeons. I'll have to ask my mom. I don't think they ever had pigeons. They really did the like the chickens and stuff that like Martha Stewart ended up making famous. They sold them long before Martha Stewart made them famous. You know, so those types of birds. I'm not sure if they would have had the pigeons. That's interesting that somebody was saying they raised pigeons. So anyway, that is on at my eBay channel right now. So that is up for sale, and that auction will end next Thursday at the same time. So it'll end at the top of the hour in the middle of my sale. So,
and Halem Nassif would like number 32.
Awesome. Thank you, Halem, for picking up Mr. Fagin, giving Mr. Fagin a home. All right. Next, we've got a piece that I picked up. This was actually a piece I picked up as part of a fundraiser. And so really I'm just kind of like recycling it. This was a fundraiser for a different dog rescue, but always fond of dogs, even though I don't own one. Always fond of dogs. This was a fundraiser for I think it was a rescue in, I want to say Michigan, but it was here in Illinois that they were doing the fundraiser because that's where that family got their dog. So they were trying to raise money. So I picked this up. I paid what I paid for is what I'm selling it for because I thought that's what it was worth. I thought it was a cool piece, and I bought it for $15. So I'm selling it for $15. So it is. It does say it's made or designed in Italy. Some of it's been smeared, but I'm pretty sure that says Italy. Because when I bought it, that's what I thought it was an Italian-made vase. It kind of has the sheen and the heft of like a lead glaze, the Majolica glaze, but I don't think it's Majolica. I think it's just one of those Italian-made. I do not know how old it is, but there's just some really cool designs built into it because they kind of did an under the sea type theme. So you've got the fish on there. A sea urchin, I guess, is what that's trying to be, and then some other fish. So you just got some really cool flowing lines on that, some really nice colors. It's a really nice size. It's not particularly heavy, so it's not going to be super expensive to ship. It's about 8¼ inches tall, so there's a decent size to it and totally functional. It's completely glazed inside, so this would be a great lemonade pitcher, water iced tea pitcher. It's just a really neat piece. So $15, just kind of paying it forward. So indirectly, you're kind of supporting this rescue in Michigan. I don't know. So $15 for the Italian pitcher, $15 by giving me number 86. $15.86 for the pitcher.
I love all the different colors of blue in that glaze. I just think for a beach house or even for a summer day with some iced tea in that, it would be wonderful.
So Tiger's saying he has something from Tunisia that matches it. Like I don't know if you got any guesses, Katie. Like it is weird. I thought the last part was a Y, but there is another letter that sticks down. So that
there is.
So maybe it's not Italy. That's just kind of what I assumed it was. But looking at it closer, but I don't think it's Tunisia either. So I don't know exactly.
No, I don't. But there's another letter at the end, so I don't think that it's Italy. Now that I look at that. But it's still beautiful, whatever it is.
Yes, exactly. It's just a cool piece, totally functional, but it's being passed on, and that's quite all right. Okay, the next piece, this is something we talked a little bit in Katie's sale last night. I had the opportunity to pick up some Avon pieces, and we had chatted that in some cases, Avon doesn't really get get a fair deal because people just feel like, oh, it's just Avon, it's nothing special. I'm sorry, Avon did some amazing stuff. And when people talk about Avon not being popular or not being, whatever, it's a lot of times it's resellers because it's just not going to sell for a lot of money. If you have the exact same piece and one is made by a private artist or made by even a company that's no longer in business, and comparing it to an Avon one, it'll probably make less money as Avon than it would if it was somebody else, just because there's a lot of it out there. Fact of the matter is you still come across stuff that you've never seen before. And this fell into that category. Last night I had the miniature steins. Tonight I've got the motherlode stein, and it is the space themed stein.
Wow.
You've got, it's all dimensional. So hopefully you can see that these are all in relief. So again, if this was done by anyone and not stamped Avon, people would big bucks for it because this is super well made. It's just got the Avon stamp at the bottom. But it's got the person in space space flight. It has the old the space shuttle. So for those of a certain age, we've got the space shuttle, but it shows into the history. So like that Gemini capsule that I sold a couple weeks ago, there it is. It's the history of the space program. It's got the planets on there. It's got one of the old rockets with the little mount for before it took off. And then to top it all off, literally to top it all off, is a moon-shaped domed pewter top in the shape of the moon with the astronaut planting the American flag into the top. All in from top to bottom, it is 9.5 inches tall to the top of the finial. From what I can tell, the finial does not come off, or the lid does not easily come off, so it will have to ship as a solid piece. It's not particularly heavy, but the box is going to be a little bit bigger, probably 12 by 12 by, maybe I can do it by an 8. There's probably going to be a 12 by 12 by 12 to be able to fit this in. So still less than what the dimensional, it won't kick into dimensional weight. So you're good there. It is marked on the bottom. Conquests of Space Stein is what this is called. And it has the date of 1991. So it has the Avon stamp. It has the sticker on there, which actually, to be perfectly honest, I'd never seen before. Made in Brazil is where these were made in the 90s. So you've got the Space Stein. So Mary Dugan said she sold Avon in the 90s. So that's actually one of the, I was curious. Like, I remember my grandparents had the collection of the Avon bottles with the colognes and stuff in them. Is this something you would have sold, Mary? Because if this, like, did you? I don't know where these got sold. You know, is this
That's
something?
What I was wondering too.
Yeah, like there's no makeup in this. There's no, like, at least the bottles would have cologne, so there's related to Avon. These are just collectible. So I don't know exactly where all of these things got sold. So I'd be curious, Mary, if you actually sold these. So here's a blast from Mary's past. So in a long day of Avon, she could fill this puppy up with some beer and be toasted before we got past the Gemini program. So we've got the Avon Space Series Stein, $12. Does it say decorative purposes only? Handcrafted in Brazil, exclusively for Avon products, source of fine collectibles, Avon 1991. Made, the logo is the name of the company that made like Caramats.
Someone's saying they might have sold them in catalogs.
Okay. And then there actually is something in the underneath the moon pewter is actually a list of all of the planets. So we can remember back when Pluto was considered a planet, poor little Pluto. It doesn't say anything, like Pluto and the trunks down elephant need to get together.
They do.
It doesn't, there's nothing on here that says it isn't for food safe, and it is fully glazed. So I would think that these would have been able to be used, but I don't know. So it is $12. $12, yes, poor Pluto. $12 for the Space Stein, $12 by giving me number 24. $12.24 for the Avon Stein.
The detail on that is incredible. And I have to say, Avon needs to come back, especially when you go to Avon brooches, because they made some really nice brooches.
They really did.
Discard Avon. And, oh, I see Jamie at Mid-Century Wasted picking up number 24. Congratulations, Jamie. That will go with your space-themed items.
Awesome. I did not know that Jamie had a space-themed item collection, so that's good to know too. All right, so we're putting our trunk down elephants onto Pluto. So let me grab a trunk down elephant.
You got a thumbs up for trunk down, folks.
Absolutely. So for those of you who do not know what we're talking about, Katie and I are on a crusade to save the trunk down elephants and give the trunk down elephants some love, because everyone wants a trunk up elephant because they think those are the ones that give good luck. And we are here to tell you that trunk down elephants will give you even better luck than trunk up, because they will be so grateful you have given them a home. They will give you extra love and extra luck because you put faith in them, even though they did not take their Viagra. So we have the trunk down elephant, who appears to be using his trunk to strum the guitar. So, you know, he's a multi-functioning trunk down elephant, but he is a trunk down elephant, and he's just simply he's not marked in any way, but he's kind of the weight of a Japan elephant, you know, and the style that he's definitely got some age to him. And I would put him into the Japan made as opposed to like a Taiwan or any of the later ones. He's just a little cutie. He happens to be trunk down. He happens to be playing an ornament, and he happens to be absolutely adorable. And he happens to only be $5. So if you want to give a trunk down elephant some love, send him to your home. $5 for the trunk down guitar playing elephant by giving me number 70. $5, number 70 for trunk. Thumbs up for trunk down, the elephant version or the guitar version.
And I think, Patrick, we need to start a trunk down elephant rescue program. I really think that's what we need to do next. And then we can can put them in a little space theme display with Pluto.
There you go. It's Pluto. Poor Pluto.
And I see Emlyn Newton picking up number 70. Congratulations. That is a great piece.
Thank you so much, Lynn, for picking that up. All right. The next item is, I'm not going to say it's exactly in honor of Katie, but it's one of those. Katie does this. Vinny does this. A number of people talk about these. And I would admit, I have sold items that fall into this category. But until I did my first ephemera bowl, I hadn't really fallen into this idea of creating an item or having an item that can showcase other items. And what changed it was at an estate sale. I'm going to see if I can do this without showing everything. I found a jar. It's kind of a cool jar. It's got it's actually footed. So there's kind of some neatness to it. And I picked it up and I'm like, well, it could probably go into one of my mystery boxes or, maybe even sell it in a live sale. And then I came across some other things that I'm like, those will fit. So I've created my own junk jar. So I am selling you a preloaded junk jar.
How fun, Patrick.
So it is, I don't know, the jar itself, it has numbers on the bottom. And, Katie, I don't know if you do a little bit more with this type of glass, but so it's got 14 and then 437. I have no idea if that has any, significance. To me, I thought
think one was probably a mold number.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's not, there's no maker's mark or anything. But the fact that it was footed, I thought was cool. Like, I'd not seen a jar like this that has those little raised feet on it. So that's why I originally picked it up. It's just a regular run-of-the-mill top. So I don't know if it would have once held, food or, nails or something. There's a little bit of age to the inside, but there's no label. There's nothing on here, and there's no remnants of a label on the outside. So the jar is just a jar, which I still think is pretty cool. But check out what I put in it. So this is worth so much more than what I'm selling it for anyway. But okay. So if you want to go steal a car, you've got a GM key, the old style GM key where you didn't have the little remote to push the button. You had one key for the ignition and one key for the trunk. So maybe you could either steal the car or you could pop somebody's trunk. I don't know which one that one was. So you've got an old GM key. You've got a completely fake key with a cat on it. Key to the Kit City. I have no idea what this is. But it's totally plastic. It's totally cheap. It's totally nothing. It's like a little charm, but he's got a little bow tie. Key to the Kit City. I have no idea what that is. Going to include a little rubber ball. I'm including one of the coolest little miniature toys I've ever picked up. I don't know if this would have been like from a gumball machine or whatever. It's a tiny, tiny little horse and not buggy. What am I thinking of? What is that? Not chariot. What is that?
Not like a caravan. Geez.
There's a name for that. It's a simple name, and I can't think of it. What is it? The horse and
buggy is all I can keep thinking
so it's like an omnibus. Like, it's just, anyway, you've got the little dude. Carriage. There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
He's got the little cowboy hat on there and the little horse, and he's plastic. I included stagecoach. That's what I was trying to come up with. Stagecoach. Thank you. Last night I included some vintage pins. I will sell more of them next week. I'm traveling, so I'm going to take them with me because they're really lightweight. But I stole the Dennis the Menace pin out of that collection. So I've got the Dennis Classics Netherlands. So Dennis the Menace was in the Netherlands, and so you've got this little promo pin that's included. You've got an American Girl keychain. And a little token it says Pros Brace Buck. It's Pros Orthodontists. So not particularly vintage, but it's metal and it's shiny and it looks cool in the jar. So you get the jar plus all of this cool stuff. And hey, if you can hotwire a car or you can steal a car, I expect a cut. So you get the jar with all the stuff inside. maybe I'll repack it because it's like levitating right now. But you get everything for $8. $8 for the junk jar preloaded with junk. $8 by giving me number 72. $8.72 for the jar and its stuff.
I have to say, Patrick, this is a really cool idea. And I love the idea of collecting all kinds of unique things and putting them in a jar. And that jar with the feet, you don't see very often. I saw someone talking about jars being made better back in the day. And I agree. There are
it's very thick. I mean, I didn't show it, but the wall of the glass, I mean, it's thick. So there's some heft to it.
And that was quite a popular item you had there, Patrick. So I'm going to wait for Nate to confirm. And I see Sue Raspberry picking up number 72. Congrats, Sue.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sue. Yeah, I have a feeling you might see more of those again. I don't know if it's going to be the mystery box solution, but it was kind of fun because I do sometimes find these little tiny things that it's difficult to know what to do with them. So sometimes I put them into the mystery boxes, but even in a mystery box, I'm afraid it's going to get lost because I have to then wrap it. So you find it, so it doesn't get thrown out with the wrappings.
Well, you could even do mystery jars.
Yep, that's true. That is true. All right, I'm going to conscientiously ignore the chat right now and go straight to my next item. And I am going to show one of the items that in a weird way I was super excited to find, because when I purchased it, I did not know what I was buying. It wasn't until I got home that I realized what I bought. So I always love these little vintage, these spreaders, these little porcelain handled spreaders. And so, for butter, for cheese, whatever you want to use them for. And I came across this set of 6. They're beautifully done. I'd never seen this style before, but I've had porcelain handled ones before, and some of them are older than others. But they're always they're cute. They're consistently good sellers. They're not super valuable, but they're popular because people use these. I have all kinds of them. What I didn't realize until I got home, they're Portmeirion. And I'm not 100% sure that's how you say it, but that's how I say it. That is one of the most expensive contemporary porcelain manufacturers around of this style of porcelain. So I think they were primarily prominent in more the 90s, 2000s. They might still be in production. Do you know, Katie, are they still in manufacturing? Portmeirion?
I don't know, but I do know that we had several of their pieces growing up. My grandmother thought they were such high quality.
They are really high quality. So it's one of these cases that I picked these up at a very good price because there was an estate sale. It was just in a drawer with a bunch of loose jewelry, with loose flatware. So I picked all of these up. It's not technically the complete set because when Portmeirion sold these as a gift set, they would have had these 6, but then there also would have been the cheese knife that went with it. So the much longer knife. Unfortunately, that was either had already been picked up by somebody else or had been broken or damaged. But as a set of 6, this is still the complete set of 6 spreaders. So there is actually good value to these. But the fact is I picked them up at a really good price without even knowing what they were. So I'm going to pass them on to you at a good price as well. So you get all 6 of these for only $10. So $10 for the entire set of 6 of the Portmeirion cheese spreaders, $10 by giving me number 35. $10.35 for all 6 of these.
That is a great set, Patrick. I love the design on those. And you got to have a cheese party and then share on Instagram so we can all see.
Absolutely. And at some point, hopefully we'll be able to start gathering for Thanksgiving and gathering for Christmas again. They are nice to have, and I have a couple of sets that I have put out. That's just got a really nice look to it with the flowers. It's a really nice set that whoever picks it up is going to be getting a good deal.
And Portuguese hydrangea, congratulations, you're getting number 35. You can have those with your cheese balls at Christmas.
Excellent. And even as a set, they're not going to be particularly heavy, so hopefully they'll still be under a pound so I can get them to the West Coast for you, hydrangea, without spending a lot of money. There it is. My next item, I lost its tag, so here it is. Okay, so this is, at a first glance, let me go back to full screen here. Something that you might think I stole from my own personal collection. I did not. However, it could be in my collection because it is a piece of salt glazed pottery, salt glazed stoneware, decorated stoneware. All the terms are correct. However, what I'm concentrating my collection and all of the pieces that are on my piano are all 19th century pieces. This is from the 1990s. So this is far more contemporary because this is Rowe pottery works. Rowe is collected in and of its own because it's functional. Like you can actually use this as a mug. These were designed to be used. There's a decent amount of heft to it. The person who had this one was probably using it as a pen, like a pencil cup or something like that, because they put the felt on the bottom of it. So you can use it just to store things in. But it's in great condition. And in the general world of decorated stoneware, the one thing you'll notice with most of my collection, I do not have any birds. Birds are one of the most expensive decorations in decorated stoneware. So Rowe does a lot with the birds. And that's why these do end up in people's antique collections, because they have a great similar look, but you can pick these up at a much lower price. So it's a beautiful piece. It's a functional mug. Even the handle has the decorated blue cobalt design on there. It's even got the stripers, which is another area of collecting that is rare to come across. It is a beautiful little piece. It just happens to be more contemporary. So I'm not keeping it for my personal collection, but perfectly happy to offer it here because I got a good price. I'm selling it as a good price. $10. $10 for the Rowe pottery mug. $10 by giving me number 14. $10, number 14 for the mug.
And Gabrielle Lish has a question for you. She's asking if you have a Bartman jug in your collection.
I am not familiar with Bartman. So no, I do not believe I have a Bartman jug. A lot of the jugs that I currently have, and this is something I'm trying to improve, a lot of the jugs that I have are not attributed. We can kind of estimate maybe they're like Southwest Pennsylvania, they're upstate New York. Sometimes there's regionalizations I can do, but they're not individually signed. And that's something that or even stamped. So that's something I'm slowly increasing my collection with that. So the Bartman is something I'm still learning, that kind of stuff. And I do not have that one.
And Susan Way is getting number 14. Congratulations, Susan.
Great. Thank you so much, Susan. Glad you're giving that a good home. Hope you enjoy that. All right, next one. This is not necessarily a Nate-inspired item, but for all of my Anglophiles out there, and Nate is definitely one of the biggest ones, I have a paperweight. And I did quite a bit of research on this, and Google Lens was definitely to the rescue. I identified that this paperweight is a convex glass paperweight. One of the last sales, somebody gave me the tip, which I don't know why no one ever told me this before. Concave mirrors and glass is caved in. So convex is this other one. So this is convex because it's not caved in. So we've got this convex glass paperweight. It's got the felt backing. And based on the look of the felt, I do think there is some age to this, but not to the age of what this is showing, because this is the banqueting house in Whitehall, built in 1622 by Inigo Jones, not Inigo Montoya. He does not know he killed your father. So Inigo Jones built this in 17th century architect. And this image is a famous image. And that's what I found, is there's an entire painting or illustration done where this picture is much bigger. I never figured out who did the illustration. All I could find out is who made the building. So it's still kind of cool. It's, Inigo Jones is the architect, 1622. It happens to be where King Charles I was executed in front of it. So, one of those little fun party facts that you can share. So it is a glass convex paperweight showing the banqueting house in Whitehall, and it's $6. So $6 for the little banqueting house paperweight, $6 by giving me number 47. $6.47 for the paperweight. All right, so somebody's saying best movie. Oh, must be talking about The Princess Bride. So yes, everyone knows my Inigo Montoya quote.
Princess Bride is a great movie. And I see Gabrielle Lish picking up number 47. Great job, Gabby.
Excellent. Thank you, Gabrielle, for picking that up. I hope you enjoy that. And while we're talking about glass, I will come across the next piece, which is what actually I was researching with Katie, why I came late to the sale, we were trying to determine the provenance behind these little Coca-Cola glasses. And they are little. I measured them before. Now, of course, I've forgotten. So they are only 4¼ inches tall. I have a set of 4. Personally, I would need all 4 of them to actually have a beverage with dinner. So regardless, they are the little cute ones. I picked these up because they are so small that I feel that these are the types that you would have if you were doing a tiered tray. If you're, Skunky Junk, if you're Sean and you've got one of the tiniest trays ever known to man, you could have a little Coca-Cola glass that does not overwhelm the rest of your collection. You can use these old pens. They're very small. You can use them as beverages because Katie was saying they are all stamped. They have an impressed mark in the bottom that says IG, that we went back and forth between Imperial glass and Illinois glass. But age-wise, these have been made for quite a while, and she picked some that are similar to these, if not this exact style. She picked them up at the Coca-Cola Museum. So I do not know the age of these, but they have that greenish tint to them, so they're not 100% clear. I would agree, Kara, Kitschy Corner, sample size. I could down this. This is a shot to me. Like this is not enough to do a beverage. So regardless, it is a set of 4. They are cute. They are usable as drinkware or for whatever else you want to do them for. And I just don't know their specific age. So I kept the price, comparable. I believe Katie said, what did you say you paid when you bought yours from the museum store?
I paid close to $9 a glass.
Yeah, so $9 a glass. I'm selling the set of 4 for $12. So basically $3 a glass for the little glasses. Set of 4 for $12. Coca-Cola glasses by giving me number 28. $12, number 28 for the Coca-Cola glasses.
And those are a great little set. If you wanted to do samplings of different sodas from around the world, you could put different ones in there. I just think they're fun to have, or great on a vignette like Patrick was talking about.
So I don't know, because if Catherine is mentioning the new logo, I don't know if you meant the Coca-Cola logo or if you meant the little IG logo, because that was what we were stressing about, trying to figure out when the logos changed for Imperial glass.
Mentioning the Coca-Cola logo, because on the back it does just say Coke, and that I think that logo itself came around in the 70s.
That is true, and I also just recognized I also do not have an identical set because 3 of them have Coke on the back. One of them just has Coca-Cola on both front and back. So there was one that did not have the new logo. So that was where I was thrown by. I happened to be holding the one that didn't have the new logo. I'm like, well, that looks like the old logo to me. So, okay. So we had no takers on that one, and that was quite all right. So I'll set those back here for later. All right. I had another Christmas item. And this one, I ended up just kind of mixing these all together. Originally was considering like, how do I want to sell them? Do I want to have multiple lots? And I figured, you know what? They're so lightweight. It's going to be really easy to ship even the bigger lot together, and it'll still be inexpensive to ship. And I know that there is a contingent of people that really like this style of Christmas decorating because they are the handicrafts of the 70s and 80s. So this is that... what do you call it? The plastic, not board, like mesh plastic.
It's like the rope or the.
It's like kind of looks like what you do cross stitch on. So it's got the holes and plastic canvas. Thank you, Peterson. The plastic canvas. So you still have like all of these are individually stitched through those different holes. And then you can see they did it in the different designs. So this one, you then fold the plastic or cut the plastic and then sew it in such a way that it forms the box. And then they put the little stuffed bear in there. So you've got this little plastic canvas bear in a box. You have a pair of plastic canvas ice skates that they did the 3-dimensional ice skates, so open on the bottom and then or on the top, and then they have the little, assuming these were probably available in a kit to get those little plastic bottom pieces. And it's got the little pom-poms on the front, so you get a pair of ice skates. and you get a kind of a interesting one. They must have used either they used 2 different styles of thread, or they did something to the thread after they made it. So the canvas was made with the snowflake, and you can kind of see how they stretched the designs around the canvas. But then there's gold accents on the front, and there's a very specific, I want to say that might be painted on, like maybe it was that glitter glue type stuff that they just kind of drew the snowflake pattern across the fabric. I don't think that's thread. I want to say they just kind of added that, and that's just to the one side. So you've got the 3 plastic canvas ornaments, plus these are the cross stitch versions. So this is why I ended up combining them all together. So these are, very flat, just regular counted cross stitch. I'm assuming it's counted cross stitch. I don't know. Attached to a cardboard back with the date. These are only a few years old. So this is from 2016. So you've got you've got 3 of these little needlepoint cross stitch style. Let's say, are they cross stitch? Yeah, they're X's. So yeah, so this is the cross stitch. I just don't know if it's counted or if it was somehow printed on there. But I'm assuming it's counted because they made multiple versions of it. And then they've all still have their hanging strings attached. So you get 6 ornaments. You get 3 of the cross stitch ones, and you get 3 of the plastic canvas ones. And so you get all 6 for $2 an ornament. It's $12 for the set. So $12 for all 6 of the handcrafted ornaments. $12 by giving number 43. Hey, Sam. So we bring out the plastic canvas crafts, and Sam shows up. So we know where Sam's wavelength is. He wants the bear in a box. So we've got antique ocean menus, and then we also have bear in a box.
And that bear is just so adorable. I see Christina Taylor picking that up. So congratulations, Christina.
Thank you, Christina. I liked the, I just thought the design, the way the ice skates were made. I thought there was just some nice thought put in how to do that. So you still get, like, they still look 3D, but then they taper down and they still have the little, just the blade in the bottom. I was like, oh, somebody put some thought into that one. So I thought that was cute.
They really did.
All right. Next item is a multiple. So this is another case where I have 2 of these available. This one is another set of 4 cast aluminum sherbets, ice cream dishes, whatever you want to call them. Unfortunately, I could not find these, so I do not know their age. There's a part of me that wants to think that these are pretty old. I want to say they're at least 60s, but I was hopeful they were older than that, but I don't know because I could not find these, and they are not marked in any way on the bottom. So just like taking a look at the shape of it, Katie, what would your thoughts be on this?
Well, I almost would say 50s with that shape, because it looks a little bit mid-century modern, a little space age to me.
The space age, I would say you're right. Like, because you get that cast, this brushed aluminum going into it. It's one of the things I discovered. I was listening to either a podcast or maybe somebody's YouTube channel. They were talking about the fact that the reason sherbets became so popular in the 30s and why you come across so many glass sherbets is because that was the era when all of those glass manufacturers should have been manufacturing wine glasses, and they couldn't because alcohol was illegal. So they had to do something. So they just took all those bowls and just like put them on shorter stems and turned them into ice cream dishes. So that's why you run across sherbets all the time. So I'm like, okay, well, so as a sherbet by definition, is that from the 30s? But I don't know if they were doing this type of material back then. And the stem it's too sleek. I agree with Katie that that's kind of like a mid-century modern kind of stem. But I don't know. I never found them. I don't know whose they are. I agree with Jan. They still have a deco look. They did come with a box, which one of the sets came. I have 2 sets of 4. One of them came in a box that was somewhat damaged, so it's somewhat irrelevant. But the style of the box was something I would say was probably 50s or 60s. It was the black bottom with the fiberboard top. There was a little bit of age to it, but not probably back to the 30s. But it is a sherbet. There are 4 of them, and I have 2 sets of 4. So you will get these. First 2 people that give me the number will get the sets. And because I just did it accidentally, I'll do it on purpose. You've got a really nice ping going in. I probably just triggered some people, so I really apologize. I should have gave a warning. Sorry, Nate. So we just had a little bell ringing there, but it sounds really good because they are very well made. They're very solid. They're not like super, super heavy. They're still aluminum, but there's just a nice weight to them because they are cast aluminum. So you've got the solid base. They're not hollow. And you get a set of 4 for $18. So $18 for a set of 4. And we have 2 sets of 4 available. So the first 2 people that give this number get the set. First 2 people to give me number 64. $18, number 64 for a set of 4 of the aluminum sherbets.
I love the information you share about the sherbets. I find that totally fascinating, and it really does make a lot of sense why they made so many of them.
Absolutely.
And I see Randy. Mr. L. Page is getting those wonderful sherbets. So congratulations, Randy.
And we had 2 sets available. Do we have anybody behind him?
Yes. And now I see Gabrielle Lish coming through. A little bit slow on my end, folks, but congratulations.
Awesome. Great. Thank you to both of you.
And I do see I have to make a correction here. I see Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl getting the first set. I'm sorry, Randy. And Gabrielle Lish getting the second set.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Who are the 2?
So I am so sorry. It's Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl, Katie, getting the first set, and Gabrielle Lish getting the second set.
Okay, so Edward
Nate is retracting. So I think that Nate says that he's sorry. I'm trying to follow Nate's comments. They're coming in several.
Nate, have you been drinking?
At a time. Okay, I see. I don't want to see you. I see Randy and Gabrielle.
That's who I see. But I don't see Berkeley Girl at all.
Yeah, I don't see Katie at all. Okay. Thank you, Nate. He has clarified. We see Randy and Gabrielle. So congratulations to both of you. And sorry for the confusion.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're almost done. Nate is clearly reaching the end of his tether. And I did not do this on purpose. But if Tiger is still here, I did think of Tiger when I found this because as my favorite color is purple, Tiger's favorite color is purple. And I have a little porcelain made in Japan trinket dish with purple violets hand painted on the top. So it's just a sweet little, it's kind of like, it's easier to show with the inside because you can see the inside is white and the outside is like a sage green. It's a really, really, really light green, but if you see it against the white, you can kind of tell there is a difference between the two. So the inside is a polished glaze or high glaze, and the outside is the bisque finish. And the background is kind of a very light sage green with the gold trim. And then you've got the purple violets in the middle. It's an absolutely perfect condition. It's a footed trinket dish. It has the made in Japan foil label on it, but no maker on it. So I do not know who made it, but it is just a really nice quality. Again, trigger warning, take your earbuds out, Nate. No, this one doesn't have as good of a ping, but you can tell it's not cracked. It does still have a ping. So you've got the trinket dish with the purple violets on it for $6. So $6 for the little made in Japan covered trinket dish, $6 by giving me number 40. $6, number 40 for the Japan trinket dish.
And I could just see that on a vanity with a beautiful white lace piece under it and some gloves or jewelry coming out of it. That would just be gorgeous.
And I love that type of porcelain. Like that's really like my background, just of what I was attracted to. You know, the same thing with, I know that Michael Todd, Cult of Vintage, he really likes that Austrian porcelain, the really like over the top decorated porcelain. And so that's still stuff that I like. That's not what I'm using in decor. So it is a simple trinket dish available for $6. All right, looks like there is no takers on that. So my last item is also something I hadn't mentioned it before. I do post things on Instagram, in some cases showcasing a few items that I think will be of interest to people. This ended up being one of them. Once again, Google Lens with my best friend, and because I had no idea what these were, and it turns out these are from Melody and Halem's homeland, Jeannette in Southwest Pennsylvania. Jeannette glass. These are Jeannette delphite blue milk glass salt and pepper shakers. So you've got this fantastic molded design of the basket down at the bottom, plus this little crisscross X going up the body, tapering to the top with the original metal in at the top. This one has a little bit more oxidation to it. So this was probably the salt shaker. This one was the pepper shaker. Not that you ever need to know that, but if you are trying to match up a pair, the natural would be like, well, let's try and grab the two that have the best tops. Technically, the pair, one is going to be more oxidized than the other because the salt is destroying the metal. So worthless information for the day, but this is a matched pair because this is the salt and the pepper, but they're not marked that way in any way. They are Jeannette. They are delphite blue. They are the milk glass. They are absolutely gorgeous. It's coming off a lot brighter on the screen than they are here in real life. I'm not really sure. There's nothing that I can show that's going to make a difference, but it's a I would say a grayer blue than what it's showing on screen. So, but it is the traditional delphite blue, and it is translucent because it is milk glass. So you have a pair of the Jeannette glass delphite milk glass, the pair for $18. So $18 for the pair of Jeannette is available for giving the number 11. $18, number 11 for the pair of delphite salt and pepper shakers.
I love the color of that delphite. I think it's gorgeous. And Jeannette made a lot of really cool pieces back in the day. Now, we do have a question coming in. Do we have more mystery boxes?
I got one last mystery box. So yeah, but what was the question that came in?
That was the question, if we had any more mystery boxes.
Yep. I had one last. I had set them to the side, so my box was empty. And I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot. I still had one more.
I see Flea Market Treasures picking up number 11. Congratulations. That is a great pickup.
Yes, I was so happy when I found those because I don't really come across those very often. And I bought them because they were just gorgeous. And then I had to figure out what they were. And then it turned out they were Jeannette. So I was really happy with what I found. So congratulations to my Flea Market Treasures. And so the last item I have is the last mystery box. So again, there's 2 mystery boxes. Works the same way now as what I've done for the earlier ones. They're still going to be $15. It'll still have between $25 and $30 worth of stuff put into it, packed based on where I'm shipping. So $15 for the mystery box. And this time the number falls between 70 and 80. Between 70 and 80 is the last mystery box of the evening. Between 70 and 80 is the mystery box.
And boy, I already see numbers flying in the chat, folks. This is amazing. I love doing the mystery boxes. And I already see the number already right out of the gate. I see 2 of them.
Oh, yeah. I missed it first, but I jumped and I did. There was actually definitely more than 2.
Yep. I see more than 2 now. Oh, wow. This is amazing, folks. You guys are guessing it and doing a great job. You might get a chance to get a mystery box with a maxi pad. We got to wait for Nate, though, in New Zealand. Okay, I see it again. It has come through again. And I see Nate. And yes, 77 goes to Irene Fink and my Flea Market Treasures.
All right. Congratulations to Irene Fink and my Flea Market Treasures. And that was my 5-minute warning, and we're done. So I actually finished on time. I was getting nervous there for a minute because I was talking too much. I'm sorry, because the number was 77. I usually want to hold it up because I don't want to be accused of cheating, but the number was 77, and that was who got that. So congratulations to Irene Fink and to my flea market treasures. So congratulations, and thank you so much, Nate, for helping balance that. It's the 6 mystery boxes, plus I had the multiples from earlier. Always keeps him on his toes. I'll have to bribe him with some whiskey or something, because probably next week is when I'm going to do another Trusty, the Trusty bargain bin with all those pins. So they'll be sold as grab bag lots, and I have a lot. So
Nate, you can do it. Nate is our rock star. He's just awesome.
He can prime himself for the getting ready for next week. So okay, and Carrie did not get anything. I did not get any boxes this week. So either she was taking it easy on you guys, or it is all about being lucky. So she and I were not sharing the wavelengths tonight. So if you came in late, I do have a handful of items that didn't sell. So I will show that really quick. But before people go, I will just do a reminder. I've already received some bids on the Pouter, Pigeon, Hager, Royal Hickman vase. So this is currently live on my eBay store right now, and it looks like there's already been a couple of bids for it. So that will be live until next Thursday, and I will announce the winner next Thursday. And I think I should have announced the winner of the baby cake topper. Somebody had said they were going to bid on it. Who was that again?
That was Book Bewitched.
So I will see if Book Bewitched is the one who ended up getting it, because I didn't see what it sold for. Sold to, yes, so sold to Book Bewitched. So I don't know, Book, if you had bought anything else, but if you did, I'll also combine for shipment, and I will make sure you get a signed MaxiPad box with your with the purchase of the baby shower stuff. So I'll bring Katie back up. So if you're done, if you've been here all along and you don't need to see everything in the back, thank you so much for your time. Again, a huge shout out to Katie and to Nate for helping me out in these sales. I cannot do that without them. And I think I've become more efficient by having both of them with me. So I appreciate and hope you guys are having fun. Hope, Katie, you and Nate have fun doing it. I hope everyone everyone enjoys having them with me. So hopefully these sales are more entertaining. I realize there's a lot of other things you could be doing with your time, including a lot of other YouTube stuff going on. So I do appreciate when people give me your time. I don't know if there was a sale that was starting right now. Do you remember, was Martha having her sale?
I believe Martha is having a 3-seller sale with Tammy and Daniel. They're doing the tacky sale. And then, of course, at 11, don't forget Nancy, this overstuffed house will be on having her sale.
Right. And Martha is vintage conversation. So vintage conversation should be starting. Probably she's already logged on, so you can jump straight over to her. And then in an hour is Nancy with this overstuffed house, which is all one word. So you can find both of their live sales. If you came in late and want to see, the things that I left over were the porcelain trinket box, the Italian pitcher, and then the set of Coca-Cola glasses. So if anybody wants to see those, I'm more than happy to show those again. Otherwise, I will thank, oh wait, I just saw marshmallows in all caps.
Yep, I see Peterson's comment about the marshmallows.
Lost it. On the sale, so boring. I'm doing something, but yes, eating your marshmallows. Feel free. You can have all my marshmallows too. I totally bequest those to you. And I just saw a note. Nettie is saying that Nancy's starting early today. Oh, okay. So thank you
today. Okay.
Do you know how early? Because she's normally at 11.
Right? I don't know how early. And I want to say, I do remember her saying that she might do that.
Oh, and there she goes. She's starting
10 tonight. Okay.
So she's basically doing double duty. She's about to go live on her channel while answering texts on my channel. So good job, Nancy. So you can pop right over to Nancy's channel. So you got Nancy, or you've got Martha, who's having a joint sale. Both, quality channels, and double screen it, do both. So thank you so much for joining me again. Thanks for putting your time with me, and thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Everybody have a great night. Thanks so much.
Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.